In this video, we're going to cover what it truly means to love yourself, how society has made you not love yourself, how to escape comparison, using self-understanding, including astrology and the Enneagram to love yourself, and how to tell if someone is toxic, all courtesy of my sister Tati. If you feel like you hate yourself, you're lacking in self-confidence, like you're constantly surrounded by people who disrespect you or hurt you, this video is for you.
Delusion.
So welcome back to the channel. I know it's a little bit loud here on the beach, and I have been absent for videos the last 2 days because we are here in I accidentally hit off on that, but we're here in San Diego, and I wanted to bring Tati on for a video because we're sitting here chilling on the beach. And frankly, I think Tati is a self-love expert. I have never met anyone who has more self-confidence than she does. As much as I know she gets her moments where, you know, you probably feel like sometimes like, gosh, a little insecurity, but like overall, she thinks she's like
the most amazing person.
The most amazing person in the world. So we wanted to talk a little bit about self-love today. So we're gonna give some key points on how we have found helps us love ourselves and why self-love is so hard. So if you're someone who feels like they are struggling to feel a sense of self-love and self-confidence, if you're constantly beating yourself up, if you feel like you're wrapping yourself up in your actions, or if you're someone who feels like you can't maintain or find good relationships of any kind, that is a byproduct of not having self-love. So we're gonna dive into these things and help you guys find some ways to love yourself more. But first, before we dive in, hit the link in the description below to book a 1-hour reading with me where we dive deep into your unique personality type so that you can understand yourself and love yourself more fully. Which, maybe we should start there, is maybe you don't feel like this one, but I know for me that loving myself, which is a really over-glorified phrase nowadays because everyone says, you know, self-love, love yourselves, you know, and really what that just means is, you know, it's a byproduct, it's self-worth. And I think a lot of people are opposed to and misunderstand what it means to love yourself because they're thinking of it as feeling love for themselves all the time, which is something I was actually listening to in a podcast yesterday, how you don't even have to feel that sense of love for yourself all the time to love yourself. Loving yourself means taking care of yourself. So Tati, where do you want to start off and what has helped you the most cultivate a sense of self-love?
Of course, mindset helps so much. We were talking about this, how the peers thing, right? How being around, because we grew up obviously with just our, I grew up with just my siblings, so we never had like our peers around. We never had really friends. And I noticed with like, I have a friend, like some friends that I've had, they just like around like their peers, they act so much differently. And then when they're around me, they act like, oh, I'm just amazing, or like, yeah, they have such bad,
well, like
thoughts.
They like, it's hard for us. So like my take on that, because I think what Tati's explaining too is something that never fully goes away because you're 13, right?
Yes.
Right? And I think this is something people experience their entire lives. It's like how Gabby always says, people are always in their high school years or their middle school years. And my interpretation of that too is like, we have our sacral chakra, our second chakra in our body, which cultivates at the age around 14, early teen years. And it not only controls our self-worth, but our sense of identity. And so I think a lot of people, given how much we have a hurt society that easily rejects each other, have now built personas, and they like to feel that sense of that their identity is approved of. And so I think that's kind of what you're describing, is that people get carried away.
It better.
No, well, you explained it well. Like, people just get carried away with their identity. And I know that's something I've even done. I've been really into country swing dancing, and I like finally getting to be a loud persona. But then that's gotten me in the situation where, in a way, I'm just being a persona of myself. It's like we're Rubik's Cubes, and everyone sees one singular square, and we over-accentuate one, rather than being all the parts of ourselves. So for people who are like me, struggling with that, like, how do you not get pulled into that, being a persona? Or do you feel like you get pulled into being a persona?
I sometimes feel like I am pulled in persona, but I have to just really remember, like, stop being that persona. Like, just be yourself. If you're acting another way, then maybe people will even like you more if you act like your normal self. But when you're acting like that, how they want, like, then
what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, because like in the end, I've been doing a lot of videos about my recent breakup, and part of the main frustration for me was in the fact that while it's nice for one part of ourselves that we felt has been underseen gets so seen, we become unfulfilled because we want someone who can see us in our entirety. So on the note, Tati, of being yourself, what if people feel like, how do you feel like you know who yourself is? Do you ever struggle with feeling like you know who you want to be and you know who you are?
Like, I feel like growing up without always having friends, I feel like and being like with my siblings, it like helps me just know, like, this is who I am. Like,
so you feel like you've always just known who you are?
Yeah, I always just like know this is me.
Yeah. And in a way, that's probably because too you didn't really have much comparison.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm just gonna do me. Like, there's nothing better to be than myself.
Yeah, I didn't have to like live up to all of my friends on how they were acting. I was just like,
yeah. And I think people get that in life in multiple fields, not just in friends, but also that feeling of, I know I struggled to feel that sense of who the heck am I, but I think a lot of people feel that sense of who am I because they were raised to constantly think it was better to be someone else, and so they never got to just be appreciated for their natural form, so to say. And so when they're in that natural form, they don't know if that feels like themselves, which is why I like astrology and the Enneagram and the Myers-Briggs and numerology for identifying what my sense of self is, because it's given me a starting point on what my sense of self could be. And if you're not familiar with those and you want to learn more about it, then book a reading. You were going to add something?
Yes, actually. I was going to say, also, I feel like I know myself a lot because, like, what she said, but I just wanted to, like, back her up on it. Like, actually, Enneagram and astrology also helps so much of me, like, being like, oh, wow, actually, I did notice that. I am exactly like that. So,
it's because she's a Scorpio.
I know, right?
Yeah. But give us an example of, like, what do you feel like there's a part of your Enneagram or Myers-Briggs or astrology, any of those points that really felt like, oh, like, this is so me, and I didn't see this before, and by knowing it, it's helped you be more compassionate to yourself and take care of yourself?
One easy one, because astrology is a lot to take in, so I can't say one for astrology exactly, but one for Enneagram is, since I'm an Enneagram 6, when I was little, I didn't because we worry a lot, Enneagram 6s, but I didn't really notice it when I was little, but when I found out I was an Enneagram 6, I really was like, oh yeah, I do worry a lot, and now I try not to, and I do question if not I'm an Enneagram 6 because I do not really worry anymore. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
like,
you're
it helps
worried.
me notice.
This girl used to scream on hikes when she would see spiders, and I was so proud of her yesterday because we were staying in a relative's house, and there were daddy long legs everywhere, and she was grossed out for sure, but no screaming. I was so proud of you, just so you know.
It was still scary.
That too, you know, like, of course, the point to cover on is, like, to love yourself, you have to surround yourself with people who love you for who you are. So you first have to know who you are before you can do that. But that is one point I want to touch on more. That is, I think, the backbone of loving yourself is, like I mentioned briefly in the beginning, which was kind of a realization for me yesterday, but something I've always known and done intuitively. I just couldn't put the words on it. Loving yourself is not constantly going, oh my gosh, I love my hair. I love how kind I am. I love how ambitious I am. Those things change all the time. You're not gonna always be kind, and that's why we feel self-hate, because we fall short of those at times. Loving yourself is like taking care of a child. If you had a child to take care of, where you're constantly watching out for them, making sure they're taken care of, and accepting them as they are. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle with self-love, because they think of it as affirmations rather than just taking care of yourself. And I think what Tati's saying about the Enneagram was a huge one for me too, that I recommend for everyone. If you're struggling with self-love, just look into your Enneagram. Discover your Enneagram, because your Enneagram shows you your childhood wound and your core desire.
And follow her. She can help you with everything on loving yourself.
Yeah, book
She's
a reading
amazing.
in the link in the description below. Stop.
I'm stopping you.
But so your Enneagram shows you your childhood wounds, and so that can tell you, one, what that inner child in you that you're supposed to be taking care of needs, and also how to fulfill yourself. I knew for me as an Enneagram 9, I always felt like I was falling short because I expected myself to be an Enneagram 3 like my sister, when that's not true. My strengths are that I'm harmonious, peaceful, easy, and I need to make sure I'm doing it from the right place, not for the sense of making others approve of me. And so that the Enneagram has really helped me identify my wounds, heal those wounds, and then give myself what I need and set realistic expectations. Now, granted, I feel like a lot of people learn about the Enneagram and they use it as a crutch to say why they're incapable, but so be aware of that. But I think overall the Enneagram can be really helpful for those who feel like they can't see the good in themselves and they don't know their needs, which is also why I like astrology, because your moon sign and your 6th house and even your Mars and your Venus really tell you a lot about what your needs are and how to fulfill them. So I highly recommend that. This is why I talk about these systems on the channel, because I know that they've helped me, and I can even see for Tati, like from her own experience watching her grow up. You know, we started full-time traveling when she was 4?
4. Yeah,
4.
3 or 4.
Wait, well, it's been 9 years.
4, I think.
And you're 13, so yeah, 4. So she's 13, by the way, and she has more self-awareness and self-confidence than I definitely did at that age. I felt like I was a chunky loser. But seeing her grow up and seeing how much, one, the Enneagram has like seriously helped her with her self-awareness, but she's really worked on just being aware of herself in general and doing things that make her happy. She used to feel a lot of pressure, I know, maybe you still do, to, you know, do what everyone else is doing in our family. Yes. You still feel that?
I still feel a little bit.
But you know what makes you happy now.
But I'm still like, I have to always remind myself, I'm just like, you know what, though, whatever. Like, if I'm not happy doing it, then I should not be doing it. Like, like who cares what everyone else is thinking?
Yeah, I think both of us really had that realization, and it's crazy because I feel like I've only had that realization just recently in a way. Like, who cares what other people think? And I think that's or even do, or whether they follow along or not. I think that's a hard thing for people to feel, because they feel alone if they don't have that community.
Yeah. I always think, like, always be confident but nice. I do want to say the nice part, because I hang out with a lot of confident people that are like mean. But like, always think like I am the best, but not to an extent of I am the best, you're the worst. Like, be like, I'm the best and you're amazing too.
Yeah.
But I am proud of myself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people expect self-love too to like feel easy, and that's what you're touching on. Is like, it's in a way like it takes a discipline. You're just like, well, no, I'm just gonna force myself to always believe the best about myself rather than put myself down. Yeah. So in the end, I think the conclusion on this is like, our simple tips for self-love is make sure that you're not expecting yourself to feel loved on an expectation of your behavior. Accept yourself for as you are. Look into your Enneagram so you can understand what your needs are and also where your growth is, because, you know, being able to nurture ourselves, not only in what we need now, but nurture ourselves to be something greater, is how we show ourselves love. After all, like, if you think of your best friend, you're probably helping them and motivating them to grow. Like, you can do it. Don't text your ex or whatever. Like, you can get this business deal. We need to be that for ourselves as well. And the Enneagram helps you know what your personal growth is. And be a bit delusional. As I mentioned in my recent self-confidence video, and as Tati's saying, just be fully focused on...
And stop hanging out with toxic people. Trust me, they're the worst.
Actually, Tati, why don't you give us a quick tip on how do you know if you're surrounded by toxic people? Like, what are the traits they would have?
The toxic people that the person that I hung out with, let's see. She always interrupted me. Don't hang out with people who interrupt you, like, in a mean way.
Yeah, like people who seem to not care about what you're going to say. Because I interrupt you a lot.
Yeah, but that's okay. No, you're fine. always just say the truth. You gotta like, I never said like, hey, that's really mean and I wish I did. You have to like talk more. Even if with your family, you have to say, hey, that really hurts my feelings, can we do this? Or if you have a problem, talk to your family like, hey, I have this problem, can you help me? Like,
yeah, being able to use your throat chakra to express your needs and when things hurt you.
Yeah.
And then if they don't respect that, then it's like they're still toxic, but it's possible that they just don't know.
Yeah, like you just have to, you tell them, and if they don't understand, then stop hanging out with them.
Well, if you guys like this video and you feel like the self-love tips from a 13-year-old and I helped you in life, let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to book a 1-hour coaching call known as a reading with me, where we dive deep into your unique personality. I do want to note that we do use, like I said, astrology, as I mentioned in all these videos, but you don't have to necessarily believe astrology is real. I frankly don't even think it's real, but it helps me understand myself, and it gives me a starting point on what I could need. And when it resonates, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. So book a reading in the link in the description below, and we can solve your self-love problems fast. So thank you guys so much for watching. From our hearts to yours, we vow to you, namaste.
Namaste.